All right. Hello, everybody that is in here. I'm testing out a new iPad because when we go live next for dropping extra sassy tea talk, I want to make sure that I have the capability. So I'm going to make sure that my StreamYard is up and running, that I can hear. I have my new microphone sitting off to the side, and hello. I hope that everything is a lot better. I hope that everything is working. And it looks like we are live. I just want to make sure we're live as well on YouTube. How is everyone today? Soundcheck Annette. Hello. How are you doing, Soundcheck Annette? Are you okay today? I hope everybody's having a great day. We got Mama Bees. Hello, Mama Bees. We just started a live. I'm testing out a new iPad so that when I'm next on the foursome that we have going, our quartet, dropping extra sassy tea talk, I want to make sure that everything is up and running. So we're live. Hi, Sharon Gobble. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well today. Is everybody doing good? I want to make sure we're live on YouTube as well. This is StreamYard, so it looks like everything is up and going. As far as I can tell, we will see. Everybody and sound checking that said, I'm doing great. I'm glad to hear it. It's cold where I am, but not as cold as it has been. I was kind of like the rest of the ladies, but I didn't end up. I was one of the first people to get out, but not one of the first people to get home because I connected through Philly. And when I got there, we got in. We left 40 minutes late. The crew got us in right on time, like a minute early. So the whole airplane was applauding. You know how people do. We're happy. And then we ended up, when I got in, my connection to Charlotte was delayed until 6 a.m. So I didn't want to sit at the airport all night. Went into the club and ended up booking a closed hotel that actually had a shuttle and got me to the hotel. I was able to spend the night there. They had breakfast at the hotel. And then when I got there, it was told to me that the shuttle driver had actually called out. It was Philly, but there was still snow on the ground. They're used to it, but just like anybody else, he can call out. He might have been sick. I don't know. And then the poor guy at the front desk let me know that he had been there all night and his shift was going to be extended because the manager was running a couple of hours late. So I let them know, there's nothing I can do about that. That can happen to anybody, but they would just have to credit me for a Lyft or an Uber, which they did. And I was able to get a Lyft back to the airport and got home that next day. So I've been here since yesterday. I'm sitting low because this new setup is different, but I'll figure out what is. There's no addition today because this is their anniversary of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They got to start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Probably about, I think they said it's been 17 years ago. So time's ticking by for everybody. And New Edition, the other thing about New Edition, they start their Vegas residency back up next month. So in February, my sister, myself, my 17-year-old niece, who is only 17, but she's an NE for lifer as well. She's going with us she's actually going with us and she's been to two of them before. So this is our third residency with New Edition. TNTG Mom, hello. TNTG Mom is speaking to everybody that is already in the chat, all of the subscribers, all of Sandra P's GenXtra crew. So we got Sharon Gobble, Soundcheck Annette, and Mama's Bees. Speaking to TNTG Mom. How have you been, TNTG Mom? Are you doing well? I hope so. Okay, I'm at a place now where I am going to try to share my screen because I am on StreamYard, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to go over and make sure it's up here on YouTube as well. I'm sure it is. I just want to see how it looks when I share my screen. And I want to thank you in advance for... Oh, that's in some earphones I had set up. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, it does say live. Okay. All right. So I just want to see how that looks when I share my screen from here. Let's see. Okay, 1 second. All right, here's going to allow me to put Instagram videos. know what? It might be better if I have these things loaded in here. I think that's what everybody does. They have their things loaded in there. I spent the weekend with some ladies, as you all know. It was Tea Talk with the Girls birthday trip. And the other ladies work so hard on their channels. They make it look easy. It is not easy. Sassy T from the 803, Tea Talk with your girl, Drop the Tea. Those are the other ladies that were creators aside from myself. I'm the newest one and the smallest channel. So I really appreciate those ladies giving me the opportunity to review the show with them. And we had some connectivity issues in St. Thomas, and then my equipment was not the best. I just had my phone, and then I also had my Chromebook with me. But where I was in the house, we couldn't all be at the same table, and it wasn't the best setup because we kept getting feedback. We had some mics that were set up because we did karaoke a couple of times, which was really fun. So we had some mics set up, and it wasn't the best. Okay, here we go. So here we got the layout. Now that is already there. Okay. All right. And I'm still here. All right. I'm just going to. No, I'm not. I don't want another person. Let me go down. Okay. We need to find out. Oh, and the banner. Let me make sure I can put. Okay. The banner is working. Thank you. The banner is working. That's good to know. Everything's Copyright Act of 1976, and everything is in my own personal opinion. And of course, this channel, I just give my opinion based on the way I was raised, things I've learned, things I've seen over the years, and just making my own, not judgment, but just looking at things the way that I see it. And I like people when they agree, when they don't agree, if they disagree respectfully, that's fine too. I love talking to people that have different point of view as well. My Traitors review didn't wake it up. TNTG Mom says good, thumbs up. Okay, so that's good. Thumbs up. And then I'm trying to, the thing is sharing the screen. That's the thing. I'll work on that later. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I'll work on that later. Topics. My topics today, I already congratulated New Edition on their anniversary for the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And then I'm just going to look at a few more. I wanted to have positive topics because I had a great week. I got into St. Thomas that Thursday. The host of the trip also arrived on Thursday, as well as Tea Talk with your girl. And then most of the other ladies came on Friday. And we ended up with 10 ladies in the one location. So it was a really wonderful time. The birthday dinner was a lot of fun. It was probably one of the best trips that I've ever taken. I've had a couple of girls' trips before. This was honestly the best girls' trip that I've ever been on because everybody was so positive. Most of us know each other from the community that we're in now, but Tea Talk with your girl, the trip coordinator is one of her really close friends, and they call each other sis. And then there's another young lady that they both know up close and personal in their real life, and then the rest of us know each other from content creation and also meeting at a few of the millimeter events. But that was an experience that I can't wait to actually have again. And we consider it the first inaugural trip, so that's something that we're looking forward to, doing trips on at other locations, and even some local trips in different parts of the country. Would anybody else be interested in that? I know a lot of people were saying that they would love to go next time we go somewhere and see what it's like. It's beautiful. And I met a lot of people at the millimeter event. I went to Winter Wonderland, and then my first one was the last Easter or so weekend, but right before spring break, the event in Atlanta. And that was a lot of fun. Okay, what I'm doing now is trying to share my screen, but I don't know that that's even going to work. But at least I know the banner is up. All right, the banner is up. pulling up. Okay, the camera has gone off. Let's see. All right, I apologize. Oh, the thing is once I selected what I'm doing, I can't actually change anything. So I'm going to figure out what the deal is with that. All right, I'm not going to save that. All right, I apologize. I pressed something and ended up, something's actually covering the screen. Oh, no, it looks like the screen is still up and running from what I can tell. So what I'll do is just go in here. I can't see it anymore, but I'll just go in and test. Cancel, discard changes. Okay, there we go. So we'll just leave the screen like that, and then it's just going to be, with me, when I test this, I'm going to try to do it private where I don't have to worry about if that comes up or not. And I actually did get a chance to watch Married to Medicine, so I'm caught up on that. The episode did not do much for me. I was kind of annoyed with it, to be honest. I thought it was a little silly. I don't mind Toya being funny. I find Toya to be a funny person. I love the opening scene with Toya and Eugene and Ashton. And Eugene was asking Ashton, he was asking him about his schoolwork, how many pages he read a day. Ashton said he read 15 pages a day. And Eugene told him that he didn't want him to do just enough. He wants him to do more than enough. 15 pages a day sounds like a lot because he's about 14 years old. I think that's like 8th grade or so. That's really good. I have 2 nieces that are teachers, and one of them is always sending things to us to see whether or not, we understand it and that sort of thing. A lot of her parents don't understand when she sends things. And she said she had to send it probably at about a 3rd grade level. So that's kind of scary when you think about it. A lot of parents are not reading, so a lot of kids are not reading. But Ashton's reading 15 pages, and Dr. Eugene is encouraging him to read more. So that is amazing. But Toya, she's throwing this, she's trying to make the ladies think that she's having a party, that she might be pregnant, and a baby shower, and it's not a baby shower. It's a shower for her. This is an old episode by now, even though the next one hasn't previewed yet. It was a shower for her new Birkin bag, which is supposed to be a big deal for people that like that sort of thing. All of the ladies were kind of annoyed, which I was too. That was at the end of the episode. But there was a cute little segment. Sweet Tea finally got her own little event that she got to throw. Sweet Tea was throwing a party to introduce older men. Hey, Linda Gamble, how are you today? Welcome to the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you showing up, and I appreciate you being here. I always appreciate your support. You're one of my moderators. Thank you. But the event that Sweet Tea threw was a nice little event. The men didn't look too much older. Unfortunately, the men that were the oldest, the Gen X men, the one that were also right at 50-something, they were a little silly. One of them was actually dressed like a teenager. He looked like a complete and total fool. I don't know if women his age would date him. But hopefully they were there just for comic relief. But those 2 men, that was kind of ridiculous. All the ladies were beautiful. The younger ladies were beautiful. There was one younger lady that was 39. So I don't know if that's considered so much older man, younger woman relationship. She's 39 years old. So there's 23 years between Dr. G and Sweet Tea, as they told us. But the tension in that Sweet Tea's event was Dr. Simone showed up with Dr. Heavenly, which I didn't like. I know we need tension for the show, but this it's not homegrown. It's just something that they make up to try to make everybody, feel this tension that's going on. Dr. Heavenly comes in smiling, speaking to everybody like she's not done anything to anybody. Contessa just looking at her. Sweet Tea immediately gets annoyed. I feel like Sweet Tea, I hope she can fix her face and not let Dr. Heavenly know how upset she gets with the way she does. American Born. Hey, TKO 2890 Roblox player. She's speaking to me and also the chat. American Born says, I enjoyed it until the devil arrived. Same thing with me. I enjoyed it till the devil arrived. I hate to think about Dr. Heavenly like that, but she's terrible. One Crafty Sister, I haven't seen you in a little bit. You might be in the bushes sometime, but I enjoy you when you're in the chat, and I'm glad that you're here to support myself, the channel, and the rest of our friends. We were talking about the episode of Married to Medicine, the kind of silly one with Toya. But Dr. Heavenly shows right up. She wants to start trouble. Sweet Tea cannot fix her face. I wish Sweet Tea knew how to kind of annoy Heavenly. She could really get under Heavenly's skin if she liked it, because if she wanted to, if she knew how to do it, she's got to practice. Because Dr. Heavenly is one of those personalities. She's really a nasty person. She tries to pretend that she's having fun and she's just poking people and joking, but I recognize that that's not what that is. Dr. Heavenly is nasty. She feels good when other people feel bad, and she wants to embarrass someone, make them feel terrible. She just got off Phaedra last week, lying on her about whether or not she brought a check for the rest of the money that she promised, even though it's Jackie's charity, Dr. Jackie's charity. So Sweet Tea's looking there pressed. And then they bring Dr. Mimi over, who's the new psychologist. I think I'm going to like Dr. Mimi a lot. Her husband, they look like a beautiful couple. They're nice looking together. They showed them together with their two beautiful children. I want Dr. Mimi to know Dr. Mimi, Dr. Heavenly is going to be all over you. And Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie are going to allow it. They're not going to help you at all. American Born says she's still young and needs to work on her poker face. American Born, that's what it is. Because she was immediately bothered. And Dr. Heavenly was happy about that. Ooh, I don't like your tone. The energy immediately changed. If you bring a +1 that doesn't get along with the person who's throwing the event, you are trying to start trouble. Dr. Simone, I believe you were trying to start trouble, or either production lit a fire under you. And Dr. Simone, you're too old to do that. And I don't know why Dr. Heavenly has to be present at every event, in every scene, trying to antagonize people. Because when she had her party for Zach, and she didn't want to invite Dr. Contessa or Sweet Tea, she didn't have to do it because she had it at her lake house. And that was fair. They didn't crash the party. They didn't show up with another person. I didn't like her coming in there and then ruining the ladies' party like that. Because Sweet Tea did get upset about it. Now, we found out later that there was an after event that Dr. Simone also brought Dr. Heavenly to. And there's pictures of them online, kind of enjoying themselves, maybe not. Sweet Tea's giving a finger a couple times with a smile on her face. So I don't know if they have fun partying together or not. I guess you can party with people you like, but I don't trust it. So that was a cute scene. That was actually a better scene than the main event, which was the Birkin bag event. We see the people riding together. Dr. Mimi rode with Sweet Tea to the party. Of course, we had Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly are always together. But my favorite thing of the party was Austin. He was the chef. He actually asked for payment for his services, which I don't blame him. He told Toya he thought the whole thing was a silly idea, which I agree. And anytime they can show the Married to Medicine kids, any of the Bravo kids, I'm happy to see it. Which I think about Austin at that party, kind of trolling Toya over this foolishness. Because Toya has other things going on. Toya, I know she has her wine business. Toya does a lot of things on social media. She travels with her family. I would like to see her kind of let Bravo know that she does have other things going on. Because I follow her on IG, and I did see that they took a trip to Paris between Christmas and like right after New Year's, and they did a lot of things with her and her family. Hi, Capricorn Flower. How are you? Thank you for stopping into the chat. And I appreciated the comment that you left. I didn't go into more detail about it. It's more private, but I appreciate your creativity and your input. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, Capricorn Flower. But because that was headed up by someone else, I didn't want to step on any toes. But I do remember everything. And I thank you so much for the comment that you left. Mama B's speaking to everyone that has entered the chat. And TKO 2890 Roblox player is also speaking to everybody. Sharon Garbolt says, I don't believe him. I would have got my money up front. I don't blame him. I would have got my money up front. I don't blame him either. Okay, I'm trying to make sure. Try to learn how to pin these comments. I have this new iPad. I let the person suggest to me what to get, but it's, you know how they all have these little quirks. I have to learn more about it because I had to hook a mouse up to it, and the mouse is not really doing what I like it to do. And then we have Linda Gamble's. Oh, Linda Gamble is giving information, but she mentioned Sharon Garbo. The ratings is down for Married to Medicine. Heavenly and CK is back to a Messy Mondays on February 3rd. Oh, Sharon and Linda, this is a mess. Because Dr. Heavenly was really, she trying to pretend that it was bothering her doing those Messy Mondays, but I think the criticism that she gets was bothering her more than anything else. So I guess she and Carlos just said they're going to do what they want to do. I wish Andy Cohen would step down on that and put his foot down on that, because it's funny. Andy, he doesn't like the Bravo ladies to interview with Carlos King or Heavenly. So we're going to see about that. That's why she's been able to talk about Carlos King's, any of his cast, like a dog, because he doesn't protect them, and then he uses her to say the things that he wants her to say. So that's kind of messy. That Messy Monday, I guess I'm going to have to follow it for content. But honestly, if it's too sick, then I turn it off. One of the few men that I follow, C. Diggy One, had an interview with Dr. Heavenly, and I watch his reviews as well. He's been pretty tough on her all season, and he was actually saying he doesn't know if she's going to get on him or not, or if she's going to want to come back. But maybe not even halfway into the interview, her voice was just so loud, and she just, I had to cut her off. I can't take Dr. Heavenly. But C. Diggy One was he was trying to hold her feet to the fire about why did she say that Phaedra still owed money when they had presented a check. And I did see her say, we finally got the money, but during the event, the check, we didn't know that it would clear this and that. She was still lying on Phaedra, even though Phaedra showed the receipts and proved it. Rebecca Burks, how are you? Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Thank you for coming to I was just doing a short Married to Medicine review. I was mainly testing out a new piece of equipment and then trying to share screens and stuff like that, but none of that has happened yet. We're just talking about the Married to Medicine latest episode with Toya and her silly little Birkin baby shower. So now Dr. Heavenly, she also did this during this interview I watched some of, and she went live and did the same thing. She's turned her ear from Phaedra over to Toya. And she's saying that Toya only gave $1,000. And then she said Toya gave nothing. So she's lied. Did she give $1,000 or did she give nothing? And then she said, and then she had a party for a bag that cost $32,000 or $36,000. Dr. Eugene works. He gives Toya a lot of what she wants. Toya has all these different streams of income. This show is her job, just like it's Dr. Heavenly, one of her jobs. So I wouldn't count somebody else's pockets. We don't know what Toya and Dr. Eugene have given to other functions. And then Dr. Heavenly, I feel like this was real cynical, y'all. She said, and this was a good cause. This was a good cause. This was Judge Hatchett's son. He lost his wife, during childbirth. This was so terrible. We remember when this happened. We remember this. And when this happened, Dr. Jackie was still doing the med ball. But she didn't make this her charity to give the money to until what, everybody? She started talking about Black women like a dog and lying on them, that they're lying about things hurting them or maybe needing more time off from work. So now, lo and behold, all of a sudden, she made that comment a few years ago. Heavenly put it up on her YouTube channel. Somebody clipped it. It went viral. It was on TikTok, IG, all the social media sites. I've seen a bunch of people breaking down her comments on YouTube. I've seen doctors talking about it, patients of hers that are now former patients of hers. And now, lo and behold, the med ball is about Black maternal health. So Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie feel like they're slicker than everybody else, but they're not slicker than me because I see them. Hey, Cece, how are you doing? Cece speaking to myself and to everybody in the chat. Rebecca Burks said, I'm sick of Heavenly. She needs to talk about her own business. Rebecca Burks, I think she doesn't talk about her own business because her and Daddy have a lot more going on than we know. We know he has that man cave. We've known that for years. Mariah, I believe she does have receipts about Dr. Daddy, Damon. She said he has asked her as a friend, please don't release receipts. And according to Mariah, she has said that whatever Dr. Damon likes is not Dr. Heavenly. And it sounds really true to me from what we've seen, allegedly, and in my opinion. And I've got my scroller up, so I don't have to say that as often, but it is still true. It's allegedly and in my opinion. American Born says, right, but wants to talk about everyone else, is Sharon Gobble. Yeah, we get tired of that. And again, we don't mind the fun shade. We always say that you can shade on almost anything, and it is fun. But the way Dr. Heavenly does it is just too nasty. Mama Bees is speaking to Cece. Hey, Cece, my little sis. And then Sharon Gobble, American Born, always in everybody's pockets. Yeah, Dr. Heavenly had a little cash register going in her head. She knew how much Phaedra gave or didn't give. She knew how much Toya and Dr. Eugene gave. What I didn't hear was how much she and Dr. Damon gave. She could give us a rundown on that, Dr. Heavenly. How much did you and Dr. Damon give to that charity? And Dr. Jackie, why was your goal so low? $25,000. And that was another thing Dr. Heavenly said on this person's interview. She said Phaedra was the one that came in there and went from $25,000 to $100,000. Now, that's not a lot of money for all those doctors and couples. But what Dr. Heavenly said was that doctors don't like to spend their money on charities and things like that. So that was kind of rude to speak about her own colleagues, that she might insinuating that maybe they're cheap. Or maybe they just have their own charities that they give to, and they're not going to let Dr. Jackie dictate where they give. And we know that Dr. Jackie's doing that for cynical reasons, in my opinion, allegedly and in my opinion. Or maybe do they change charities every year for the Met Gala? Or is she going to try to give this money again to the same charity until we start talking about what she said about Black women, calling to the doctor and asking for time off when they don't need it? Mama Bees had the same question I did, which was, how much did Dr. Heavenly give? We don't know. I'd like to look. Linda Gamble has a comment. She says, the Becky has come out and she did an interview on the Bravo sectors. I have to find that interview, Linda Gamble. I keep hearing that it is a Becky. I wonder if it's a nurse or someone at this hospital and why he let Heavenly run her mouth and talk about so much. Another thing Dr. Heavenly wanted to know was, what is Quad doing to get a Rolls Royce? Dr. Heavenly, you got a Maybach for Christmas. What are you doing to get that? Is Dr. Damon giving that to you so that you shut up? That's something else that she wanted to know. What is Quad doing? And maybe he was messing around, because sometimes men do that when they start giving those extravagant gifts. So she sounded like she knew about it, but she got a Maybach and it was beautiful. I follow her on IG. I don't really comment too much because I don't want her to block me, because I need the content. And she is content, but I'd like to see her up out of here. I like Dr. Mimi. Her husband seems like he's a cool guy. I actually don't mind King, and I don't mind King with Quad. Their relationship is okay. Dr. Eugene and Toya, Dr. Jackie, and even Curtis. We haven't seen Curtis a lot. He might be down in the DR. She claimed he's working down in the DR. So we need a shakeup, which Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly can go. And Sweet Tea, I want her to keep defending herself, or if she's not able to do it, if it's too tough for her, she might get, I don't know, she might get the boot, because Bravo doesn't really play with some of these newbies. You see, NECA is expecting. NECA and her husband, NECA had one season on Real Housewives of Potomac, and then she let the Green Eye Bandits turn around and turn her against Dr. Wendy, when I thought they could have been a unit. Not because they're just Nigerian, because I know they're different tribes, and evidently it's really tribal, but I did not like the way she allowed herself to be used by Ashley and Giselle. Sharon Gobble said, I got her voice down. I wish I didn't. I listened to it and I cannot get it out of my head. She's so very annoying. She is, and she thinks it's so funny and cute. But maybe, I guess any kind of engagement to a person like her is good engagement, good or bad. Linda Gamble is dropping knowledge, she says, and allegedly, in my opinion, you see the banner going, but the comment is Dr. Damon has outside children. Well, we saw that Similac or baby formula or whatever it was on the counter. We saw that. And then we saw, she claimed that he was allergic to milk, which most people would switch over to almond milk, or there's another one that a lot of people like, soy milk. A lot of the men don't like soy milk. That's supposed to do something to kind of make you effeminate. So soy milk supposedly isn't good for men. I read that somewhere, or at least they said boys. American Born, I'm happy for NECA too. I thought she was just adorable. I didn't like, the only time I stopped kind of liking her was when she did what she did with Dr. Wendy. I couldn't understand that. I don't know why people don't see what Giselle and Ashley are doing. They don't have a story. They have no storyline. So they want to start talking about other people. Capricorn Flower, I like when CCs do the voices. Yeah, if I if I think I can do it reasonably without mocking, but just trying to give you an idea of the person. Because you know what? I'm funny. When I was a subscriber and I didn't create any content, some of these shows I don't even watch, but there's certain creators that I will watch and kind of get an idea of everything that goes down in the show. But right now, my show that I don't mind watching, I'll still watch Married to Medicine, even though, like I said, this episode was kind of boring. Traitors, I'm watching. My review, I did a review for episodes 1 through 3, and then I didn't get that uploaded because I was supposed to get help dropping the pictures because that cast is so large. So that one, I may still post it, but it's so old now, it's kind of wasted. And then if you watch Traitors, you see what happened in 4. Somebody even had a whole picture and kind of like the spoiler in the thumbnail of who got killed off on that show. American Born said, they fall into the trap of trying to create drama, but she played herself. Yeah, they do. They do. And that's another reason I don't like when somebody's first season, they're a freshman. So NECA was coming in, she's trying to get her feet under her. And then I really felt like with her husband, he's a doctor. Of course, they have money. The show was something that she was new to. Her fashions were there. She's beautiful. She's another Nigerian. She does live in that area in Potomac. So I didn't understand why they got rid of her so fast. I thought that was kind of terrible. And she apologized. That was Ashley's whole fault when they were talking about Oshun. Excuse me if that's offensive, but when they mentioned that, and Eddie shut it down. He was like, it's taboo. We don't talk about that. Andy tried to he didn't pull a Carlos, but Carlos kind of got that from him. He was being messy about it. What you say about the mom is a wit. And he said, we don't talk about it. It's forbidden. And then Nigerians shut that down. They didn't play. They don't play about that. Because it's disrespectful. There's nothing witchy about Wendy's mother. Wendy's mother's extra and she's funny and she's all that, but she's lighting her candles or whatever she was doing. NECA knew better than that. But she did play herself. And I still want her to get the second season. The newbies they have now, Stacy may make it if she gets rid of that fake boyfriend, TJ. I don't like him. The other two, Kierna, I don't know if Kierna's going to make it or not. I like Kierna a lot, and I wanted her on the show, but I don't see much from her. And then the other girl, what's Cece? I don't even know. I can't remember her name. She has funny lines, but I don't really know if she's going to make it either. Sharon Gabo said, don't nobody believe that Similac is nasty. It is. In my opinion, the outside kids were over there. I think so too, Sharon Gabo, because then Dr. Heavenly came back after always calling people stupid if they stay, and what about your cheating husband and your abusive husband and all this kind of stuff. She says that about people across all platforms. And then she comes out and says, well, the daddy is cheating. I ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. So, Dr. Heavenly, if it's okay if you stay, okay if you go, what are you worried about what these other women do for? She's talking about Melody over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and she's told us repeatedly she doesn't even watch the show. So we know that came from Carlos. And that's another reason I can't stand Carlos King. Take care of your own cast. Don't worry about what your cast is. I mean, he can worry about what his cast is doing, but don't put words in Dr. Heavenly's mouth. And she's already told us she don't watch the show. And now they say coming back with Messy Mondays. So they're going to have Messy Mondays over there with Carlos and Dr. Heavenly. Then you got the Mental Mondays over there with this other fool. It's a mess. Now that's one, even for content, I can't go over there. I have to go to people that follow that channel and know a lot about her story to find out what they said about it, because I can't take that lady. Yeah, Similac is nasty. Thank you, Linda Gamble. 23 likes and 16 in the chat. So we've already had some commonly. American Born is laughing at what Sharon Gabo said. That's true. I mean, you'd be on almond milk, soy milk, something. Heavenly will tell you anything. And then Dr. Simone, one of the episodes earlier, it was the one where they had Zach's going away party to Harvard Medical School. There was a dog, it might have been Alora's dog, in like a bassinet. And she said, oh, Heavenly, is that your grandbaby? They're trying to joke about it. And nobody said nothing about any grandbabies. We're talking about this outside child, children, plural, possibly, that Dr. Damon, Daddy, is supposed to have. So they're too much. American Born says there are too many milk substitutes besides baby formula. Thank you, American Born. I've never heard that before. And Dr. Heavenly, she's one of those people. She's so smart, she thinks everybody else is stupid. But it just ends up making her look silly. Similac. And Andy doesn't press her. You notice that? He doesn't press her. But I think he's actually getting annoyed with her because she's doing a lot on social media. So I'm looking forward to this reunion and see what's going to happen. And the numbers, Linda Gamble said that the ratings are down. So they're going to have to come up with something. Quad's in her happy phase. Quad's not going to really, I don't think she should have a problem at this reunion. Dr. Simone hasn't shared a lot. Dr. Jackie hasn't really. They'll probably jump on poor Sweet Tea again. I wonder if Sweet Tea will bring her mom. Sweet Tea brought her mother up there, had Dr. Heavenly running, and the woman wasn't even chasing her. They said she was just like trying to talk to her. But Dr. Heavenly's that type, act like she's being attacked. American Born said, and she has been told before to watch what she does during the season. Yeah, that's true. They feel like they can't be put on pause. You see, Grand Dame gave a statement and stepped down. If they didn't tell her to go, she decided to go ahead and step down. I don't blame her. She has a lot on her mind because I heard her and Ray are having problems. So that's really sad. And then also with the DUI, I don't know that she's going to get time or what's going to happen with that. So a lot of people are really upset with the Grand Dame because she's done the drunken driving thing more than once. And she couldn't have her driver. But when she had her driver, they said she was going with the man, remember? What was her name? The one that always wants to be on there, but nobody really wants her there. She gets on my nerve. What about your driver? Blue eyes? And I think Karen was going with that man. No, I think she lied. But Ray knew that, and he still let the man be her driver. That's better than almost hurting yourself or hurting somebody else in an accident. Oh, Blue Eyes. That's right, American Born. That came up at a couple of reunions, and Karen was just ducking and weaving. I'm going to miss her. I think she's more on pause where I think she could probably come back. Giselle's not going anywhere. They said that's Andy's favorite. So we'll see what's going to happen with Potomac. Ashley can go. We don't know what's going on with her and old Michael. And I don't ever want to see Michael on my TV again. That's a nasty man. Remember, he used to pinch on the cameraman and stuff? And then they showed one behind the scenes. Now, Monique, I had to get on her. Monique had that on camera, and they said she, either did something with the tapes or she didn't share what she should have shared in order to get Ashley on her side about something. But you could hear the guy in the background going, hey, stop that. I don't like that. He was trying to check Michael, and Michael was trying to laugh. And then he always had a thing for Juan, cute Juan Dixon. Yeah, there's more goes on behind the scenes than actually on the show, like a lot of places. American Born says Michael has been hiding all kinds of money from poor Ashley. American Born, he had a fool when he met her. Even though she was young and in her 20s, he knew she was a big dummy, and her mama couldn't guide her to do anything. Oh, Sheila. All Sheila taught her was how to get a man with money, but not how to keep any of that money for herself. For her to have those 2 children, 2 sons, and all we see them doing is walking on the countertop. And actually, she's a mess. And I feel sorry for those little kids. And she leaves with nothing. Now she's trying to do her little TikTok, and she's over there with a certain community trying to get their money. But I can tell Ashley right now, that certain community that she's chasing, they don't give their money out like that. They distribute their money amongst each other. They're not trying to support a halfway single, non-divorced mother and her children. But, because any type of job she does, if it works for her, I'm fine with it. So that, I don't even cover Real Housewives of Potomac, but they have enough stories that I always know what's going on. American Born said, Ashley's a bone carrier. That's why she's still there. That's true, American Born. You kind of do need the bone carrier. You do. And she doesn't talk about her own business. Maybe that's what Heavenly's trying to do. But Heavenly's bones are just always about somebody else. American Born, she is beautiful. She can get another rich man, I hope. And she's young. Actually still in her 30s. And the kids are still little. She better get them trained, though, because a lot of men don't like to take a woman with sons, and the sons are untrained. Because they get to their teen years, they be beating up that man. Allegedly, in my opinion, actually. Because we know if they finally get divorced, Michael's not taking those kids. American Born says Elaine is mean-spirited. That's her birth name, in my opinion. And she had the nerve to tell somebody, oh, Sweet Tea said, and then she brought her, my name is Heavenly. I'm like, girl, what do you mean? Not girl, but Heaven. Her, she can call you her because you always calling her all kind of names. Sweet Tea just lets, she has so many opportunities that she lets slide. But I see her over here on YouTube reviewing the show, which is good because she can give her spin on things so Heavenly won't be over there lying. And I see that she's like becoming friends with different people that can kind of teach her because Heavenly has got her all hemmed up. I mean, I see her trying to defend herself a little bit, but it's not happening yet. And Dr. Contessa is a little bit better because you see Dr. Heavenly always trying to kiss up to Contessa. Well, Contessa and I have a different experience. Contessa and I, we can sit down and talk. Contessa's told her every which way she don't want nothing to do with her. Whether or not Contessa's right, she don't want nothing to do with Heavenly. And I happen to agree with her. I couldn't have a friend like her. Sharon Gabo said, them bones are rattling in Heavenly's closet waiting to come out. They sure are. And she's probably the type, she's such a coward. I think if something came where it is going to come where more people know about it, she probably would say that she needs to take time away for her family or something like that. Because we see already that Laura came back home from Florida, so she's taking a break from college and doing some more, not businesses, but she likes social media and her fashion and her makeup and things like that. And Heavenly has encouraged it. In my opinion, she's kind of living through Alora because people do like Alora. I like Alora. I think she's a doll. I always liked her, even when she was little with all that mouth. I like Alora. But people don't like Dr. Heavenly. So she's kind of living through Alora. Because I think if Zachary or one of the other boys left school, something like that, I think that, I don't know that Heavenly would love that. But she actually put it on IG and she congratulated Alora. She's proud of her. So we'll see what happens. She should have a lot of stuff coming up. American Born said, I agree. She would quit. Yeah, Dr. Heavenly is that type. She can tell your business, but her business, if her and Dr. Daddy Damon business come out, it's going to be a mess. Sharon Gobble, American Born, I can't help myself when it comes to Heavenly. Evil behind. She is. She's just a terrible, terrible lady. And I was looking at her when she was at that party. She had on some kind of, at Sweet Tea's party. Sweet Tea looked cute. She had on her little white dress and her stilettos, and Dr. Contessa had on the sundress, whatever she had on. And then Heavenly came in there dressed like Alora. She had on a denim, her stomach was out, and when she stood up, you could see like kind of like her crack. And her body's nice. Dr. Heavenly be over there working out. She's had some work done, but she's working out. But her hair was too long for her age, you know, that Morticia straight thing. She's a person, just because she's speaking loud doesn't mean she's confident. I don't see the confidence in her. I don't care for her at all. But then she has her share of people over there. When she posts on IG, they right over there. Oh, Dr. Heavenly, they can never make us hate you. And it's like, nobody wants anybody to hate her, but we need her to act better. Because this is new and it's gotten, not new, but she didn't start out. She wasn't there season 1. She's in the background. Season 2, she came in kind of chunky and a little, Jamore. And then over the years, she's getting progressively worse. She was the comic relief. We could laugh with her. And then she was so terrible to Mariah. For no reason, I thought, other than to just get rid of her and the fact she's kind of jealous of her, in my opinion. And then she's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Now every other word out of her mouth, she's calling the women a bee and garden tools and all this stuff. And it's just unnecessary. It's unfair. And she's run out of people she could do that to. She doesn't really want to do that to Dr. Jackie or Dr. Simone. She's kind of afraid to do it to Contessa, even though she started out the season trying to do that until she got chased and had to call security. Sweet Tea, people kind of calling her a bully. I think it's getting to her. Phaedra kind of paid her dust and then showed that big check. So I don't know who she's going to point at next. I feel for Dr. Mimi. If I were her, I would try to, I don't know. I'm not going to tell Dr. Mimi to go be friends with Dr. Heavenly, but she better cover herself and her husband, even her little kids. I don't trust Dr. Heavenly at all. Okay, let me see. We are right here, 45 minutes. I like to give a good half hour, and I appreciate everyone just while I was working on what I'm doing, because the experience is going to get a lot better. My main goal, as everybody knows, is to be able to share my screen and show things that I wanted to see. So little quick kind of recap of Married to Medicine, even though that's old. There's a new episode of Traitors. Is anybody watching Traitors? Because I have to I'm caught up now, but then they have a new episode that comes out tonight. So I forgot the first 3 ready. I'll have episode 4, even though we already know that's big news as to who was killed off. But episode 5, I'll do 4 and 5 together. And I can do it kind of like a live review. American Born is watching it? Okay, that's good. Good. Sharon Garbold too. So I don't know the time, but what I'll try to do is when I after it premieres, I will go in and then have some pictures dropping. Linda Gamble's watching it too. I was like, okay, so that's pretty good. That's good. Mama Bees is watching it. A lot of people, yeah, it's a pretty good show. And you know what I like? I like the fact that they have the Bravo celebrities, so we'll know those people. I was kind of disappointed so far in Robin Dixon's performance. She is so blind. Somebody will come to her and they'll be like, I think that so-and-so is a traitor. And the person will be a real live traitor. And she's like, nope, it's not them because of, to give that dumb Robin theory. I'm like, oh my God, has Robin Dixon always been this dumb? She is a mess. And then the one, Zac Efron's brother, Dylan, he had his eye on Bob the drag queen since the beginning. And he let Bob the drag queen back him up. He's kind of scared of him because he couldn't get enough people to go along with him. But that's just how the show is. You need the numbers. But I'm not really impressed. Boston Rob is okay as a traitor. Bob the drag queen, I don't know what he's doing. Danielle, I don't care for her. And then Caroline, all that quaking and shaking and moving around and ducking. And the tats just on, she got the sleeves on. She drives me crazy. When somebody has that kind of frantic energy, it just makes me go nuts. Capricorn Flowers screaming. Linda Gamble said, ABC has a series coming out called Paradise. Is it a reality show? Or Linda Gamble, what do you know the premise of it? Paradise. It seemed like I heard about it. I know Morris Chestnut has a new project, but I feel like it's CBS. Oh, and do you know what? Family Business New Orleans. Let me think of the lead. It's somebody who, if I see his face, if anyone see his face will know who that is. That premieres tonight, Family Business New Orleans. But I actually fell behind on the other Family Business. It was getting kind of gritty. Sometimes when they get into certain things, it's like, I have a hard time watching it. Sharon Gobble said Robin has always been brainless, in my opinion. Pooch Hall, American Born, that's who, Family Business, New Orleans, tonight. Sharon Gobble, I didn't know that Robin was that dumb until she would always be kind of one unit with Green Eye Bandits, her and Giselle. And I'm like, why do they need two of them? Because Giselle's witty enough. She's no dummy. So I didn't know why they needed two of them, but I guess her brain was working for both of them. And then she lost Juan's money, and then that kind of put a hole in her family. So I guess he said, well, shoot, I'm not moving out. But they remarried and everything, and then she told us to kiss her at the wedding and got fired. And then I don't know if she's going to get more work after this. I don't think her performance is that good. CC is speaking to Capricorn Flower. Capricorn Flower came in and spoke earlier, and I think she's been in the bushes, but this is CC's first time seeing her down in here. American Born agrees that Robin is dumb. That was news to me. I didn't want to believe it. Every time I see a sister, I feel like I start that, up here, and then I have to see certain things in her that I'm like, oh, okay, I can't keep with you. I can't keep it up with you. Sharon Gobble said Giselle was the brain. I think she was. Linda Gobble has something to do about the White House. Okay, that might be interesting. They haven't had anything good, like say Scandal or that type of thing in a long time. I'm going to look it up, see if it's something I want to watch. American Born said Robin lets him cheat. American Born, she and Juan have some kind of deal. And Production's in love with Juan. He's nice looking. I always thought Von Dixon was a cutie. But a man acting like that, what's the use in having him around? But Production had that hot mic on that man. That man said, I'm just tired of it. I'm getting sick of this. I want something real. And they were playing it right in front of Robin's face. Robin sitting up the stage acting like her own husband, not even saying that. And still living with the man. And she got the audience told more so than him. That was a mess. He was out in public with his women. Out in public. Cece said she's working and listening, so she just glanced up at the chat. Okay, Cece, that's what I used to do. When I had an office job, mainly I would have something in my ear. I'd be in the bushes a lot of time. Now I'm outside in the elements when I do work, and I'm union now. I had to leave that other atmosphere. You see, they were calling the remote federal workers to work. So that's getting scary because corporations are going to do what? They're going to follow their lead because they're trying to revive the corporate real estate market. American Born didn't care for Juan. I didn't care for how he treated Robin, but I can't be madder at him than she was. The way she let that man, that was crazy. And then she would get mad, like when he was walking around Georgetown at the laundromat with the lady and stuff. Who goes to the laundromat with somebody that's not even their spouse? I don't like going to the laundromat at all. I'm not going with somebody's husband. And then he had the nerve to like, yeah, we washing jerseys. And this is a whole college program. You don't hire somebody to go wash those jerseys. That's crazy. Linda Gamble, has anyone heard about the Obamas divorcing allegedly? Linda Gamble, I haven't heard any news about that. But when Michelle didn't go to the funeral, and I approved, she didn't go to the inauguration, I approved. And I was telling somebody, I said, I hope Barack Obama don't wait till he get this age and lose his wife. Because if somebody files, I think it'll be her. Because I know that she probably has had to like bite her tongue and put up with so many things. And now that they're no longer in the White House, they've been gone for years. They have a public life, but there's certain things he still does that he don't have to do. And I can imagine him going, well, Michelle, you know, they booed me at the inauguration. And I know she probably said, I told your bony ass not to go to not to go to that inauguration. I know she's getting sick of him because I'm not married to him and I'm kind of sick of him. And I love Obama, but some of the things he does is just, can you please stop being so professional with these people who are never going to be that with you? So, Linda, I haven't heard that, but I was wondering if there was some sort of separating going on or growing apart going on. Whatever Michelle does, I agree with. American Born said these schools have washers at them, don't they? That's what I thought. It was just it didn't make any excuse. And then he was with one of the ladies in the nail shop, and then the one he rented the hotel room for. So Lauren had too many excuses. Linda Gamble said Capricorn Flower or CC just broke the news. Oh, that's terrible. Sharon's laughing. Yeah, so we agree on that. Because once women get a certain age, they lose patience a lot, and the men just seem to get a little bit more silly. And then you see them dating kind of younger, like the later daters. The women, to me, they had it together. I might watch that again. Produced by Michelle Obama. I might watch that again because I really liked it when they showed those women. I'm hearing at a fair, Capricorn Flower, who, him or her? I could see, you know what, she gave him his swag and he took it and ran because he used to be corny. When he used to wear them mom jeans and stuff, and then sometimes he was trying to dance, she kind of gave him all the swag he got and kind of got him elected. Because honestly, if Barack Obama, I remember he was a senator in Illinois, and then he went right from there to the presidency. If he didn't have a Michelle, if he had a Karen on his arm, I wouldn't have been fooling with him. That's just me. Right or wrong, that's just my opinion. So, we'll see. We'll see what the affair look like. I hope it's her. If it's him, we'll see what he gonna do. What it looks like. Mama B says it's not going to happen anytime. So I work for the federal agency that controls federal buildings and space, and there just is nowhere for people to come back to. Okay, Mama B's. That sounds more true than what people are saying. A lot of times people will talk and they don't know what they're talking about because the people that are so happy about it, Mama B's, those people don't even work from home. They're like, yeah, if I got to get up, go to work, they do too. And I'm like, fool, they're getting up, going to work, but they're working within their house. I have older sisters, they're in their 60s. One of them, I'm not going to tell her medical business, but she couldn't be like in an office and in enclosed spaces. And this was like right during the panorama era, during the 2020 or so. She could not go back into an office, and her Dr. Ben wrote her out. And there were people in her office that were still going into work. They had a problem with it, and they were kind of jealous of it. And they would want her camera on. They'll look behind you at your house. Like if she would be in her backyard, she got a nice backyard. Oh, that's nice. Are you at the home? Black women really suffer within certain office environments. I did. I left my industry. I used to be in financial services for years, licensed employee and everything. And I left them because of the way some of the people, I was always individual contributor. I never wanted to manage, but individual contributor, you're an analyst, you have your own projects, but you still have teamwork that you work with together. But we know how that works. Certain people would get the recognition, other people would be doing the actual work, and it reached a point where I left that field altogether, and I'm in transportation now with an airline, and I'm union, even though now they start picking at the unions. But a lot of the unions, believe it or not, a lot of the union guys, they love the orange clown. They getting scared now, though. They looking around like, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, fool, we tried to tell y'all, so don't ask me nothing about it because, frankly, I don't care. Linda Gamble, thank you. 33 likes and 14 in the chat. Capricorn Flower said that's what it said. You nailed it. And Regina Phillips is speaking to everyone. Hey, Regina Phillips, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming into the chat. She's speaking to everybody. I hope you're doing well. Get readjusted to the cold weather. I'm trying to. Capricorn Flower speaking back to Regina Phillips. And I hope everybody that takes the time, just team replay. I'm going to start doing timestamps because the first couple of minutes are just lost. But then the Married to Medicine review is kind of more of my opinion on it than an actual recap. That's how boring and bad the episode was. And then after that, we're just talking about different topics. Mama B said, GSA sold and or leased most federal space. Also, it saves the federal government so much money. They don't have to pay for maintenance at the buildings or utilities. Mama Bees, I think that's true because during the time when more people were working from home, working remotely, a lot of people put work into their homes, and it makes sense. You're going to be home working. You do want to have, certain things in your house and put money in your house. That makes more sense than for a company to be paying the upkeep on these buildings to have people come in. Mainly to me, a lot of it's for the middle management. I had a job years ago. It was for an insurance company, and we were fully equipped to work from home. Everybody was issued a laptop on day one, and we had the type manager. He lied. When he got us in, he did a bunch of, because they relocated from Jersey to North Carolina. So he did a lot of hiring, did his own hiring. Are we equipped for remote work? Oh, yes, and I prefer that. Bye, bye, bye. He gets in there, of course, what does he want? He gets so upset when anybody's working from home. He wants to know if you're coming into the office, what hours now we're exempt, but he needs to know what hours just for his own, because I'm concerned with everybody that. He's a person, he needed a lot of attention. And if everybody wasn't in the office kind of flitting around him, he would kind of have a fit. And I left them after, it was less than a year. I didn't stay with them long because it was under false pretenses. American Born says, and they can convert them to apartments. American Born, with all these unhoused people out here, they're going to have another way of thinking about residential versus corporate properties. If it fits the code and if it fits the standard, it's going to be a state-by-state thing. And Regina Phillips said a lot of Fed's buildings are closed down. I think that's true. And once they realize how much they could save, too, and that does cost a lot of maintenance, and a lot of the buildings are really old. I was in, when I went to Philly, the hotel that I went to, I can tell you, it was because I'm gone. It was an Embassy Suites. Embassy Suites is 3-star or whatever, middle of the road. Anything in Philly, because the city's so old, it's a historical city, it's old. And it's a beautiful old building, but it's an old building. And so there is a lot of maintenance that has to be done. American Born says, well, the remote workers want to stay home anyway, so let them turn them into apartments. I agree with that. And then hopefully we can come up and think about different ways of looking at things to spend money, because the money is going to be spent. This crew's talking about they saving all this money. They set up that new bogus Department of Government Equity or something like that, the one they put the South African over. And then the other guy that they just fired, Vivek. Vivek is a clown. They made a complete and total fool out of him. He got his ninja wake-up call. Because a lot of the Indians, if you work with them over the years, you know how they come in and they try to identify on a certain side, and then they get that ninja wake-up call, and it's different. And I've worked with a lot of them that experienced that. Then they try to talk about it like, well, this happened, that happened. I don't want to hear that. And not that I try to tell you, because I don't try to tell you. I'm just looking at you. I know what's going to happen. We are going to wind this up. I want to thank everybody for stepping into the chat and engaging in the chat. And I want you to please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It helps my channel grow. I appreciate all of my new subscribers. And Team Replay, thank you so much as well. And thanks for stopping by Sandra P's GenXtra. Tonight, I'm going to watch that Traitors episode. And then the people that watch, I'm going to do like a live short recap. I'll figure out what time. And then we can kind of discuss it in the comments, what we think about it. All right. Thank you.